for it. Rodolfo has done it. Thank you, Rodolfo.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rodolfo. We believe in you.
So Anushka, if you could repeat what you said about Fund 10 proposals and my questions, how the Fund 9 voting affects Fund 10 proposals.
Okay, so in every funding round, there's a challenge that's specifically for to create and propose challenges for the next round of funding. So we've got in the Fund 10 challenge setting challenge, we've submitted a proposal for Atala PRISM launch ecosystems as a proposal, but we need the community to vote for that proposal, that challenge proposal, in order for it to be a challenge in Fund 10.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we vote for the next challenge, for the challenge of the next round. So
got it. Okay. But you
I put the link to the challenge in the chat as well.
Thank you, Lance. Yeah.
And yeah, Ed, it can completely reshape things. So I don't know if how much you followed, but in Fund 7 we had a dedicated decentralized identity challenge. I want to say it had $250,000, I think. And then in Fund 8, 2 challenges that were SSI related. One was kind of general SSI. The other one was decentralized identity, accelerating decentralized identity. And so I think combined, maybe it was 900,000 or something like that of funding. So, a massive growth in funding for the community. And then for Fund 9 challenges that we just all proposed, put our proposals for, those challenges went far more generic. So the SSI decentralized identity challenges, the specific ones, there weren't any. There was instead these generic, much more generic. So it said things like dApps and products and things like that, with these huge budgets, which basically made it so that like identity projects like ours, our proposals had to compete against we'll say more mature parts of Cardano, like DeFi, DAOs, things like that.
We need to compete with NIN now. To compete with NIN project now.
That's right.
That's gonna be hard.
Oh man, we're not doing DeFi, by the way.
So yeah, smart contracts, DAOs, DeFi, all these things that maybe had more momentum prior to us. So it really reshaped things. So it's very important that we support this new challenge, and hopefully we get it, because that'll give us again kind of funding specific to SSI and decentralized identity.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and I think just to add to what Lance is saying, like even though we didn't get an Atala PRISM specific challenge funded, that doesn't stop people from applying. I mean, proposing Atala PRISM related proposals into other challenges. That's also fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Roots ID put out even more proposals without it. So yeah, I mean, 9+, we partnered with a bunch of people like Snaprilia, LearnerShape, a bunch of groups because they want SSI elements in their things. And so yeah, proposals all across different funding categories and challenges, but I will say it was really nice when there was SSI specific challenges.
Yeah, I think actually on the bright side, I definitely voted yes for the PRISM Launchpad challenge. But on the bright side, when I was voting, just spend like an hour today to vote on 100, 200 proposals, I saw a lot of SSI proposals being ranked really high up there across different challenges. So we, even if this gets funded, I think we as an ecosystem, we should still be out there and competing with all the DeFis and SnapBrillias of the world, as you say.
Yeah,
Rodolfo.
we should. Yeah, we should, but we don't know. That's
For
gonna be
funding.
the first time we see if that what works. If the scoring works in the same way I used to work. But I did find a lot of SSI. Also, I vote for yours, Bjorn. How you pronounce that?
Yeah, Bjorn.
Yeah, Bjorn. I vote for.
Yeah.
I think 2 of your proposals are great.
Oh, thanks.
So I find yeah, I vote for them.
Yeah, drop your links in the chat. We're voting right now, so
Yeah, Bjorn, please do.
yeah. You know, I am more than happy to vote for anybody who has element of SSIs in them. Not that my vote counts for a lot, but at least you'll get one. Yeah, you don't ask, you don't get, right? Yeah, I truly believe that you know, the SSI, like Catalyst is investing actually quite a bit in decentralized identity. Always could be more, of course, but I think our community here, you know, should at least support each other, if nothing else, right?
Well said. And I think maybe on that note, you're all welcome to share your proposal links in the chat so that everyone can, you know, click on it and do what needs to be done. That'll be cool. Okay, are there any other questions related to PRISM or SSI?
What is happening at CNFTCon or Rare Bloom, Anushka?
So
Is there something
Good
happening?
question.
Oops.
Who's going?
Yes. So yes, we're going. We're going.
Good.
I'm still trying to get
I
my
probably
ticket.
be on the Rare Bloom.
Oh, are you going to Rare Bloom?
Not confirmed yet, but probably.
Oh, okay.
You need a ticket, let me know.
Okay, I fill the form.
Yeah, so my understanding is that we will be talking a little bit about the CSSIA that's formed and encouraging membership there. Tony will be doing a workshop on SSI. I'm not sure how much he'll be talking about BNFTs at the conference. But we're not going to have a booth. He confirmed that with me today because I think it'll just be the 2 of us. It may just be the 2 of us, or it may be him alone. So,
Oh man.
so that's as much as I know now. But then he, you know, he's not alone because I know our community will be there, and all of you make it feel like you all represent Atala in a big way. So I know we won't be alone if it's just the 2 of us. But that's what I know for now. Sorry, Nin, I didn't get a chance to pick Tony's brain too much about what exactly we're doing there.
Totally fine. We did get a 10x20 booth for CNFTCon, and I only have a 10x10 booth myself for the Cardano community and SnapBrillia. Most of it is Cardano community. So, and I also have a ton of tickets, like hundreds of tickets to Rare Bloom and CNFTCon. If you or whoever you want to bring, right, a non-Cardano, non-SSI friend, to make them an SSI friend, and you're willing to just go and represent, even Prism, just hang out. I can give my 10x10 to Prism, right, and then we can all, you know, cycle through it, even if people want to come and learn more about Prism or learn more about what you guys are doing or whatever. That's an option for sure.
Is anyone else on the call going to CNFTCon? No?
That's Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's the biggest one. It's October 8
7
to
to 9.
9. 7 to 9. There's a party happening on the 7th. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know.
Okay. Thanks, Nin. And I think you've already mentioned it to the Astros, and I don't think you still have access to the Pioneers and maybe CSSIA. Those are other people that you could
Yeah,
also
actually,
reach out to. Yeah.
let me make a
Cool.
post right now.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. It's much appreciated. The next question on the table is, when it comes to any of the other solutions that are on the table, and people that are representing different solutions in the room, is there any breaking news you want to share with us, or any updates, or any problems or challenges that you want to share with us? No? Doesn't sound like. Okay, then last question is there anything in general anyone wants to discuss this evening?
We have an update, actually. I'm working on the closeout video. I really need help because I'm not a professional videographer or anything like that. We have, so the whole point is the product works. The talent is being, yeah, I can share some slides maybe. So I don't know how many of you know about Snapbilia and essentially what we have built, but let me just share. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, we're building gigs and marketplace, gigs and Bati marketplace, and we have a huge centralized Web2 talent database that we tap and invite people to join a SSI and DID solution where they own their data, right? To build their on-chain reputation. And companies essentially would go on our platform, post a gig. But what happened was it's actually very successful in the way that we are able to, get developers very quickly on Cardano and to help develop anyone's project on budget without sacrificing quality. So for Tangent Art, in a week, we were able to drive 20 developers. They made 2 full-time hires out of this. So I sent out maybe a couple hundred emails. You can see the engagement response rates here, right? A lot of people open the email, a lot of people click and replied. We engage both the hiring manager and hiring team company with the talent immediately. And they know that this is a real opportunity because it's already funded. It's held in escrow, right? There's real dollar amount attached to the job. And so people are, pretty well incentivized to join, especially now in the bear market. If we are able to connect any project with an opportunity like this, just come and start building, right? And not everyone will start building right away, but at least they know about the project. So I wonder if there are any SSI projects out there that could help us beta test this and test this for adoption instead of for hiring. For hiring, it already works. We have already testimonial for Ben. I just uploaded them on YouTube. You can check it out, where he says, yeah, instead of hiring in a month or 2, we were able to hire and find people in like matter of days. So that's an update from us. It's been a learning experience how to sell this to companies for sure, but it's ongoing. But now we found a new opportunity to drive adoption because of this huge database right? If you have any, I know JFF Pugfest has something going on. But yeah, once you guys build your stuff and you're ready to launch or ready to start building, right? Let me know.
Yeah,
Happy
it
to
seems
help.
like the Fund 9 proposals that get funded will need additional talent of some sort, right? So that's an excellent
Yeah.
audience.
And whoever starts building, I'm waiting for Anushka. I want to just follow up on the Prism mainnet keys, right? But right now, currently, we are issuing verified credentials on Aries. So we're waiting for the mainnet keys to, start migrating everybody on Prism. But everybody, any developer that comes on our platform, joins a bounty and finishes it, has a verified credential, and owns that like record, right, of completing the real work with the real skill set and so on.
So Neen, when you said to help with the adoption that you're already successful in hiring, so are you saying that you want companies to be essentially accepting those verifiable credentials in order to hire people, or what does adoption mean? I'm sorry if I missed it.
Adoption means I built this tool, for example, right? Like you guys built or you guys are building the mobile Roots wallet, right? And you need beta testers or something, right? Feedback on user experience or somebody to use it, break it, generate 100 verified credential, use it every day, right? You put out a bounty, hey, use it for a whole month, give me feedback. I'll pay the first person that does it $1,000 or $1,008, whatever. Then we can essentially target the specific professionals or whoever, right? Specific geographies, skill set, titles, companies, whatever.
So
speaking languages.
So you have a large pool of people who will seek a bounty, but you need people to be posting bounties so that
much.
The pool is cycling well.
It's huge. We just need to now have gigs and bounties, either for hiring or adoption, so that we can get more people on Cardano, more people in front of your projects, and more people on DITs, right? And once Prism gets me the keys, hopefully everybody else as well, right? Then more verified credentials on Prism.
So today, then you're putting them on via Aries to Hyperledger Indy. Is that right? Or essentially the issuer at least is on Indy.
You're right.
Okay, got it.
It's Indy.
What are the amounts that you are expecting companies to provide as a bounty? Because some of
we have
might be funded and some might not be funded. So the
we have a roughly a rule of thumb. Great question. $1,000 or 1,000 ADA. That is going to be implemented on Friday. So between now and Friday, you can actually go on and post any amount. But after that, it will be 1,000 minimum.
And what would you consider like the wheelhouse, like amount and time frame?
Just up to you. It doesn't matter. It's just depends on the type of person you target and what the ask is, right? Like I'll tell you $1,000 or 1,000 ADA is very significant for anybody, almost anybody across Africa and lower GDP countries, right? That's like a month of salary for somebody, like full-time salary. But for somebody in the US, that's 20% or 30% of monthly salary, and that's like scraping by, right? So it depends on your target, right? You pay on completion of the gig and bounty. You control, right, who you pay, quality of the work, A to Z. Yeah, for adoption, same thing. You just pick a winner. It's just a challenge, right? Could be, hey, you know, sign up as many beta testers or users as you want, right? Actually, we should, not that I talk about it, I should post a bounty on give me as many gigs, post it.
Could you
Why
set up
not?
some templates for those? Like, because many, I just assume many, would have never done this before, setting up a bounty. So maybe providing some templates like break my app or find that loophole or whatever, that might be a good help to get started with.
Yeah,
And
it's a great suggestion, Marcus.
Thank you. It's because then as a company, we can also, as we don't know necessarily what is the amount of work that somebody has to put into this. And you want to have the developers get a fair compensation too. And with that, say, okay, hey, this takes about 10 hours, probably, but this takes a week, right? And then, yeah, you don't want to work for a week long for 1,000 ADA.
Yeah, the beauty about this is the database we have is global. So no matter how much time you want and what budget you have, as long as it's not like, you know, and we show you what is the hourly rate that you're paying for. Let's say you put in 100 hours and you're paying $1,000, it's $10 an hour, right? That's still feasible for somebody in our database that we can invite, and they would join, they would love it, right? And they have. So really, whatever budget you have, but then we do currently, me or Tom, we just hired Tom, awesome guy, right? Our CMO. He will walk you through the whole posting gigs and all of that personally to make sure that you're successful, right? But templates, yeah, we've heard it a couple of times. It's an excellent idea. It's in our pipeline.
To kind of stack on top of that, like if you want to sell something on eBay, a lot of times what you do is search for that thing to see how much did it sell for, you know, previously, what condition was it in, you know, kind of compare like where should I be, you know, what's the wheelhouse essentially for this particular task or tasks similar. So yeah, if there was some kind of like metrics system that you can kind of present as like yeah, for this particular task that you're asking for, you know,
Yeah,
let's take Roots Wallet for instance. You know, I'm not a UX designer type, so
we
it would be amazing, right, to have somebody who could come through and just clean up our CSS and all these other things to just suddenly make Roots Wallet look, you know, very professional. So that would be the kind of task that I'd be searching up.
Yeah, there are two things that we're working on that goes in that wheelhouse. One is that we're actually building the pricing recommender model based on the title and content of what your task is and the type of skill set that you need to get it done, right? This would be essentially, this will pull from like what people make on average for that task, or type of gigs that have been done, public gigs like online data, you know, Fiverr, Upwork, all of those. And then also the amount of hours that you're asking for, right? So we would recommend you. It's not quite done yet. I think what we need to do is just to integrate it into a web app and do some final testing for that. The other part is to offer general bounties and general gigs. So right now, the whole onboarding and the whole app flow is optimized to look for developers and get your project in front of developers. But if you wanted to do like UI and design or get in front of artists or marketing people, that's when we would support like general bounties for any type of task that you want, where we can bridge people to you. So those two would need to be implemented first. The general bounties may take maybe a little bit longer than the pricing prediction, right? Because we need to you know, have a general way how people submit their work. Right now, people submit their work through GitHub, and it's just specific to coding. Yeah, so we're building, but you know, in terms of like post launch, right? We're learning the sales, we're learning sales qualifications. We have a ton of leads, right? A ton of conversations, but it is the bear market right now, as you guys are all aware, right? So yeah, it's not impossible. It's just a little bit more challenging, right? So there's lessons every single day. Me and Tom.
Some lessons more painful than others.
Is there an extensive list for SSI and DIT solutions? Because I just saw in your proposal in that you've been working on a ton of these, and that you've been working together with Lance, basically, who saved you in like putting the stuff together. And I was like so surprised about the amount of solutions that I saw then in the comments. That was pretty amazing. And I was like, okay, where do I find those? Right? Is there a page that just focuses on these? Because we don't need to reinvent the wheel all the time. Because I'm not finding the links, because maybe there's already a solution that I can then just try to implement.
Yeah, I'll put the links in right now. So honestly, Marcus, Nebula, and me personally, I've joined the Cardano and Catalyst ecosystem only 6 months ago, right? We're new, and a lot of people here, they're my seniors. They're people I personally look up to and partner with, and I try to learn from, like Rodolfo and Lance, especially, and Anushka. Bjorn, like you know, is the .NET guy for Prism, and Ed is new, right? But he's got a ton of experience in the education and SSI space. So I try to connect with as many people as possible. I did put our links in there. We do have some things built out, and keep in mind, Nebula, the platform has been built, you know, May and June when we received the Fund 8 to launch in end of July, early August, so 3 to 4 months, right? And we continually are building. And I think, you know, what else we need to build in order to make something that's more valuable for the community, right? And those are our Fund 9 proposals. So some of which we already are implementing on. So like the SSI one, the Prism one, right? I'm working with Tony and Anushka to see when we're gonna get the mainnet keys, the MSA, to be able to launch Prism mainnet. A lot of it depends on also our own success as a platform, because you know, because IOG wants to see a successful SSI solution being deployed, right? So we're pushing really hard and trying to push like the whole ecosystem forward. And others, like, you know, the JFF PluckFest 2 is coming out. Lance just posted that. I just signed up, and for that we're gonna try to. So for the first Blocktrust, we integrated Indian Hyperledger with our solution, and we have the Prism on testnet waiting, but it's been upgraded many versions and so on, right? So for the Blocktrust 2, we're planning to finalize the integration with Prism to our platform and start doing the migration stuff. And that's going to be part of the, the quadratic voting for DAOs and the Atala PRISM plus Hyperledger Aries. And I look forward to working with Rodo on that, because he's been working on the interoperability for a while, right? And adding the zero knowledge layer on top of it. So a lot of things that we are building ourselves in our pipeline. This funding would be awesome to validate what the community wants. We may accelerate it by hiring a couple of engineers, right? And have some funding to pay for, expensive issuing of verified credentials, and some go-to-market and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. Because we try to get to the roots, like in one of the meetings, I think it was 2 meetings ago, Anushka said she would like to see this NSSI being implemented right at the baby stage, and that's where we actually start our project. So this would be an option where we could implement something like that. So we need something to work in there. And I feel if we do it by ourselves, like totally, we focus on that. We have another focus. We don't have the SSI focus. We want to integrate. Then we would potentially be too slow. We have to see.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for everybody who's trying to, well, who could see themselves working with us on this one and elaborate how we could implement that. So if you want to know what we're talking about, it's like what's the name of the proposal? It's digital assisted delivery. And then just have a look. If that is something where you can see yourself working with, just let me know, guys. Okay.
Yeah, do you have a link?
Yeah, 1 second.
Marcus, if I'm understanding, you kind of want to see the ecosystem of apps that are SSI related apps out there. Part of the reason that you don't see that is because it's fairly new here. For instance, what Neen was talking about with like the Indie and the Aries ecosystem, that ecosystem is more mature in terms of it's been around for quite a while, and a lot of that tech and knowledge have been transitioning like in the Cardano space, the Atala PRISM space, but also, like Neen mentioned, Atala PRISM isn't on mainnet yet, so Atala PRISM as a platform isn't in production, and all the apps and things that we're building are in anticipation of that moment when it'll be on mainnet, and we're trying to build our stuff to be essentially useful and commercially useful at that time. So the development is there's a lot to it, for one thing, and then a lot of the people that we engage with right now, they come like into our Discord or we set up a meeting and we essentially are talking through those use cases and trying to use those use cases to shape our software so that when we can get to that point to be just available, like we'll say like on Android, Google Play, right? So that you can just download it, that those products are kind of ready for people. So Roots ID, always happy to engage with use cases, and yeah, I'll definitely take a look at what you just posted.
Nice proposal, Marcus. I haven't seen
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. It's actually a hard thingy. Like we do that since some time now, and now we're finally getting out
I'm
there.
voting now.
And thank you. And
I got about now.
but I'm freaking shy in this social media area, right? Like I've been leading teams the size of 20 people and so, but the digital self-presentation thingy, I think that's so weird to me.
So Marcus, one cool thing. So my wife in the past was a doula. You know
Awesome.
that term? Okay. So
Awesome.
but now she's actually doing her master's coursework to help doulas here in the US that have customers that are on Medicaid to we're working on the process of formulating how to make that a digital process that's faster, so that like doulas can get connected with clients, and then they can work through the Medicaid system much more efficiently, using their credentials that they gain from the formal training that they do for doulas. So this proposal is super interesting to me. I'll definitely reach out to you, and maybe we can collaborate.
Absolutely, because we just had the use case with our little kid. He broke down. He's about 1.5 years now, and he totally collapsed and went into the hospital, and it was a nightmare. Not just the collapsing, but like the whole process with the sorry. The whole process with the staff, it's just terrible. I'm actually at the moment writing a post about it, an article on our website, and I'll publish it then. As a parent, you don't want to ever be in that situation where doctors and nurses tell you, "Oh, that is Marianne." And you're like, no, that's a totally different child. And things like that happened. And then he all of a sudden had a different disease. And our kids have bullosa simplex. Do you know what that is? That's like, it's called the butterfly skin. So when you attach, for example, a plaster and you rip it off, like you basically rip the whole skin off, things like that. And if you have in Germany we say a Braunul, if you have like this injection, and then you want to clip it with a plaster, and then you tear it off, the hand is broken basically. And we were discussing about these tiny things, right? And this is what we want to tackle with the nurses and telling them, hey, we need a certain kind of plaster, and we know you have it here. We know it's a bit more expensive for you as a hospital, but we know you have it there. And if that would have been documented in the digital health record, then this wouldn't have been a discussion at all, right? But rather than just providing the proper information, I just try to discuss. And then when we went back into the hospital today for the MRI, then they opened a completely new case, right? As if he would have never been here before. And that was so unnecessary, right? And yeah, it's just a terrible, a very, very bad experience with that. So yeah, hopefully it's fine now. Yeah, so far in the next 2 weeks we get a final result. But that was really heartbreaking to see, right? That you have this little life, and you can't do anything. It just you can't do anything because you're not the doctor, you're not the nurse, right? But if that would have been propagated bit by bit from every examination, then things would be fine for many people. And that's what we try to tackle there. So that was exactly the use case we tried to improve. Yeah, didn't want to have that on my own list. Yeah. Yeah, but absolutely. And I need input from doulas, from midwives. So if you know guys working in that field, send them to us. We want to have as many advisors as possible, because we need to shape that landscape strongly. Otherwise, these people lose. And doulas and midwives, they have their own rivalry between themselves, because midwives think, okay, hey, we have a different education, and so we need to force doulas into a certain framework. But then again, doulas do most of the first aid in many countries, and they're not educated like a midwife, and they're going to be pushed out of the system, but they're essential to the system as well. And these are things that we need to resolve, and we can do that. I think we can do that. We just need to work on it. Yeah. So yeah, send me everybody you know. I'm gonna try to change the world a little bit.
Let me check.
Yeah. Sorry, I got emotional.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks for the stimulating conversation, everyone. I mean, you know, it's good to see that we all trying to tackle some real world problems and provide some much needed infrastructure for SSI at the same time. I think we, you know, in such exciting times, you know, redefining the way things are done, trying to do amazing stuff. And all I can say is please continue to do the amazing work that you do. It's really appreciated. I also wanted to mention two things from listening to the conversation. The one is that if you're in the Astro Slack channel, Tony has posted a message about a beta program. So that's an MSA for the pre-prod environment. Please have a look for that message,
Awesome.
Nin. If you can't find it, you're welcome to drop me a message and we can chat, maybe book some time with me. And yeah, and then just an update on the prod environment. The prod environment is currently being set up with version 1.4.1 of Atala PRISM, which has been security audited and passed the security checks. So we're looking forward to prod being up soon as well. But in the meantime, yes, please
awesome.
check the Astros channel. Yeah, so we're getting there for you. So check the Astros channel.
Yeah, that's freaking amazing.
Well, we love the encouragement that you guys give us. You know, you push us to be better and go further. So thanks so much for that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that I am at a conference for developers in Johannesburg this week. It's a Node.js conference. Lohan did a 3-hour workshop on SSI and Atala PRISM. And, you know, it is the first time that this group of 30 developers heard of SSI. So I'm trying to introduce them into the community and so on and so forth. But I know that Catalyst can sometimes be challenging to navigate, right? And because they are Node.js developers, I see them as competent developers already. I'm wondering, you know, whether there's opportunities for us to introduce them to some of the work that you're doing in your projects. Maybe they can sign up onto Snaprilia as an example. Maybe they can go check out Roots ID. You know, maybe those are links I can send them. So if you don't mind dropping me a message in Astro Slack or CSSI Slack or whichever Slack channel you're in, if you don't mind dropping me a message that I can share with this group of people. Tomorrow it will be tomorrow and Friday, it will be a group of 100 Node.js experts that I'll be talking to about SSI on Friday. So I've got the last session of the conference to talk to them. So if there's any links you can share with me that I can pass on to them, I will send it to the conference coordinator and ask them to email those links to the participants. And I think, one, it's a nice way to get people into SSI, and two, it's a nice way to get people, you know, interacting with you in your projects as well, because that might be a bit more of a guided tour into Cardano, Catalyst, Atala Prism, than just trying to get in there cold and trying to swim. So yeah, those are some of the little gems I have for you. If there's anything we can do for you, please drop me a line in Astro Slack channel, CSSIA Slack channel, and we'll see how we can help you. An update on the Pioneer program. We're looking at doing the tests for 101. We'll start that next week. And then within 2 weeks from there, we will, I think that might be the first week in October, we will invite the CSSIA members to test the Atala Prism 101 program as well. So if there are people that really want to get into the Pioneer program a little early, if they join CSSIA, then at least, you know, they'd start a little earlier. Okay, so that's it from me.
Just a quick note. Today we had more than once the topic of links, where to find different SSI projects. Maybe we can build some kind of community site where we list all our proposals, not just for Fund 9, but just for the future. So that's easier for us all to vote for the Atala stuff, and also to list all the ongoing projects. Maybe you guys can set up a site where we can all edit and list our projects or ideas, so, and all the GitHub links, because at the moment it's really, really hard also for us, yeah, to understand who is in the ecosystem, who is doing what at the moment.
Okay, so I'm happy to set up the spreadsheet. I'm going to set it up with what.
Nope, Anushka, you froze for me.
Yeah, me too.
You know, make the spreadsheet as
Oh, there she is.
useful as we need it to be, right? I'll just start up a Google Sheet for now. That's openly shared via a link. And I think it's the quickest way for us to get started, and then we can get fancier with it as time goes on.
Another version would be a Git book. Then you could have more participants and it would look like nice right from the beginning.
Okay, do you want to help me? Can I give you my Calendly link, and then
We can try.
we can set up 30 minutes to get it going?
Will be my first time too, but yeah, we do that.
Oh, okay. Okay, which Slack channel can I find you on, Marcus? Would you be
I'm only on Discord because
on Discord?
Slack is too much of a chaos for me. But that's just me.
Okay. Okay, so I'll find you on the Discord.
You also have my LinkedIn.
Okay, I'll catch you on LinkedIn then.
Yeah.
And then I'll send you my Calendly link and we can chat. Awesome. So we'll start that maybe next week if we're lucky. We'll share that in the after town hall.
That's a good idea.
Okay, perfect. Awesome, guys. So thanks so much. I'm going to run. Looking forward to meeting you all next week again and having another good stimulating chat. Yeah, feel free to find us. You know where to find us. And thanks so much for all your support and artwork. Rodolfo, please upload the video for me and send me the link.